The ability and skill to orient where you are relative to a key center and the degrees that are in it is obviously extremely useful for songwriting. We want to know where the 1 is, where the 2 chord goes, where the 3 chord goes. And what we're going to do here is use the major scale as a map to be able to see where we are relative to some note and where the other diatonic chords go relative to it. Let's go check out some examples together on the major scale map. To follow along, please make sure you have downloaded the associated PDF document on major scale maps. We're going to start off with example A on the E string root note. So let's start in the key of G. We're going to start on the note G and play a G major scale. This is G, A, B, C, D, and E. This is F sharp and G, but we can also go F sharp and G like this. I also just want to clarify briefly before moving on that we're primarily going to be focusing on the major scale map relative to the E and A string. We're not going to focus any further on playing chords with root notes on the other strings, D, G, B, and E. We've done that extensively in the past section. So I just wanted to make that clarification here before moving onwards. It's definitely useful to be able to recall quickly the letter names of major scales, but the most important aspect that I'm going to constantly be drilling home is to think of scales in terms of degrees. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. Now, if you know your diatonic harmony and the order of the chord qualities, 1 is going to be major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 and 5 are major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and 1 is major again. Like, I can actually see where they are. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 1, there's 5, there's 4, there's 2, there's 6, there's 3, there's a 1, there's a 7. So now if I know that, 2, 3, and 6 are minor, 5, 4, and 1 are major, minor, minor, these are the minor guys, this is major. Now I can just literally see where all of the chords are in that key relative to this key that I'm playing in, which is currently G. If I wanted to change keys, the map doesn't change, but the starting point changes, the letter names change. For example, if I start on the note A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now I can see this guy's major. There's the major guys. Here's 2, here's 3, here's 6. 7 is of course here, and major. Diminished chords are actually a longer conversation than you might think, and we're not going to be doing that much composing with them. I still want to introduce you to them and how to play some shapes, but in real life, real musical life, they don't happen that often, and technically how they're thought of is as a piece of another chord, a type of 7th chord, which we're not going to get into right now. But that's why we're primarily going to be focusing on the first 6 chords, major and minor. So if I'm in the key of A, I can literally see there's 5, there's 4, there's 2, there's 6, there's 3, there's 1. If I change keys to the key of F now, there's 1, there's 5, there's 2, there's 6, there's 3, there's 4. This is 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 4, and so on. Let's jump over to example B now, and I want to show you guys an alternative way to ascend seconds and thirds. Let's use the key of G as an example. Again, now before we went up from G to A to B, right? Root 2, 3. But we can also ascend adjacent strings. I can go G to A, the open A string. It's almost as if I'm pushing that guy down. We can imagine if we wanted to move it up the guitar, which I'll demonstrate afterwards. This is a root to a 2 to a 3. Okay, that's up a third. See? G to B or G to A. So now we have multiple ways to visualize ascending by seconds. I can play this major, 1 to 2, or I can play 1 to 2. A minor is 2. 1 to 3, or 1 to 3. So example C, We can also descend intervals. I can take a root note, go back to its 7, go back to its 6. Chordally, the 1 takes a major chord, 7 is diminished, 6 is minor. So let's go over some other key examples now. I'll do it for the B example and the C example. So I'm going to pick some key. I'm going to just pick this guy, B. So I can see where 1, 2, and 3 are. There's also 1, 2, and 3 here like this. So there's a 2 chord here, there's a 2 chord here, there's a 3 chord here, and a 3 chord here. I can see that because I know where my root note is, and I can visualize the map up this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's also 1, 2, 3. And then as long as you know what kind of chords go on the scale degrees, you got many options. Now I can also descend from the 1 to the 7 to the 6. This is the 6th chord. I could have also gone up to the 6th chord. I can see that because that's what 6s look like ascending by using the major scale as a map. So that's it for the E string root note. Those are all the ways to ascend and descend intervals. We have 2 ways to ascend seconds and thirds, and we can also descend to a 7th and a 6th. Let's go ahead and take a look at the A string examples next.